Good morning and good luck. And welcome back to Good Luck with Gino. I'm your host, Gino, and we're back with episode 12. We are a day late, and I do want to apologize. I was in Detroit, and these episodes normally drop Monday mornings, but you know what? You can fucking wait. All right? You got to build a little anticipation somehow. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, go ahead and leave a 5-star review. Yeah? Little comment. If you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, leave a comment, talk about how good I look today. We're rocking the buffs and handsome as always. I went to a wedding, so I probably put on a few pounds, but that's all right. If you're on Spotify listening, go ahead and add as well. Again, these things help. They help the algorithm. And in my journey to becoming the #1 podcaster in the country. So we're going to do a little weekly recap. First of all, I can't believe you motherfuckers didn't wish me a happy Father's Day. So that's really disappointing. Only got a few DMs about that. So to all my sons listening, shame on you. I had a flight late last night coming into LA from Detroit. And not one, but 2 screaming babies were on board my flight. I flew Delta. And, it's time to just kind of say it out loud. We've all been thinking it for a while, and someone needs to come forward with a policy proposal. I think it's time to ban babies from flying. Plane tickets are so goddamn expensive now. I should not be subjected to this. You understand? I mean, these children, okay, just ear-curdling, screaming, And it was to the point where, I got the new AirPods, noise-canceling headphones. I got John Wick 4 on, and I can still hear these fucking children. If your baby cries for, your baby cries now and it's a baby. But when the baby's crying for hours, it's time to open the emergency hatch. You know what I mean? It's time to just... We got to do something about this because, look, I don't know what the solution is, and it's hard to put it on the parents. I don't know. I've never had a child, right? But at some point, we can only take so much. So I think the solution here, you ban babies from air travel until they're maybe 3 or 4 years old. We have enough money. We're just printing money. The government's just printing money. So maybe we have some kind of babysitting initiative, like a babysitting fund to pay for babysitters, for parents when they're traveling. I don't know. I'm spitballing. I don't have anything planned here. But there's just something needs to be done. The flight was fucking torture. So forgive me if I'm a little tired. I'm drinking Celsius. I don't drink energy drinks. This is not an ad. I promise. So I'll probably be a crackhead by about the halfway point of this podcast. So that's that. What else happened in news? Oh, about an hour ago on my way here, the Grammys announced new AI guidelines for the Grammy award show, the Recording Academy. So they've got some new guidelines. I'm going to read it off. It's very interesting. Obviously, as we enter, as AI music is going to start playing a more important role in songwriting, as creatives, are going to start utilizing it for prompts. AI vocals is a thing that we're going to, and we've talked about these things on the Good Luck podcast. But it's going to be interesting to see how the labels, the Recording Academy, these, legacy pillars that have been in place for so long, how they're going to react to AI. And we've seen some stuff happen with the labels already. Universal sending DMCAs, and we talked about right of publicity. This is kind of the first thing from a creative standpoint where we're seeing, proactive guidelines being put in place. So the Grammys say, a song can win a Grammy if they have AI vocals, AI songwriting, AI instrumentation, but they must have, and I'm just reading this verbatim, proof of meaningful human authorship, whatever the fuck that means. And they need to have over 20% human authorship. So basically, AI only songs, banned, cannot be nominated for the Grammys. Songs with under 20% human authorship, banned, cannot be nominated for the Grammys. Songs written mostly by AI can't win a Grammy in songwriting categories, but songs performed mostly by AI can win a Grammy in other categories. So I think, what does this mean? I don't really know. Sounds like a whole lot of nothing. Sounds like most songs will be fine, because what's going to start happening is a lot of writers and producers are going to be using AI in their music. And I think this is really just cementing what I've been saying, which is AI is not going to replace you as a songwriter. It's not going to replace you as a producer. It's going to be a tool for you to use, because not only are we not going to really be seeing a lot of AI-only songs for a very long time, but they're going to be dog shit. So it's good that the Grammys are kind of putting these things in place, but again, it's just like a no news thing for me. It's good to see that they're being progressive in this category, and hopefully will allow for creators to feel more comfortable and less threatened by the technology. So yeah, I think this is good. This is fine. The Idol. We're going to talk about The Idol. Now, you guys know that I fucking hate this show. And I talked a lot of shit about it last week, which some people were upset about because for some reason people enjoy this show. I don't know what about it is possibly redeemable. The songs are terrible. The acting is terrible. The writing is terrible. The only good thing about the show is how it's shot. Who gives a fuck? If that's the bar, then there's a scene in this episode, episode 3, where the Weeknd, and God bless the Weeknd soul, again, you know, a generational musical talent, but my God, the acting, you know? Let me play this scene. He's basically like, they're in a store and he's picking out clothes for Jocelyn with like the person that works in the store. And he pulls this guy aside that's working there. And let me play this. This is fucking incredible. Come on. Come on, man. I fucking curb stomp. I fucking drag you down fucking Rodeo Drive. Let me catch you fucking looking at her again. I'll fucking curb stomp you. Dude. Tough scene. He's getting dragged, rightfully. I guess my thing is like, you know, I'm not going to tell anybody like not to live out their hoop dreams. You know, maybe The Weeknd really wanted to be like an actor. You know, maybe he saw Daniel Day-Lewis and There Will Be Blood, and he was like, I can do that. I can do that. And unfortunately, when you're at the top, there's no where to go but down. And people are just waiting to fucking tear you apart. And you kind of gave them a reason to here by doing this horrible fucking show that watches like a 14-year-old boy's fantasy of what you think being a boy is. You know what I mean? Dude, it's just, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but Jesus Christ, you know, I'll drag you down fucking Rodeo Drive. I'll fucking curb stomp you. What is this, American History X? Like, what the fuck? This is the most intimidating Canadian, though, still. It's because he's Canadian. I just can't, you know, I can't be intimidated by a Canadian. You know what I mean? Sorry. All right. Today in natural selection news, do you remember last week when that kid jumped off the cruise ship, Cameron Robbins, and was eaten by sharks or whatever? And I said, oh, natural selection, stop fucking playing with the ocean. Well, nobody listened to me, apparently. Apparently these billionaires that decided to get on a submarine and go see the Titanic yesterday. There was a submarine it's called Ocean Gate, which is a tour company. They have a tour on their submarine to go 3,800 meters below the ocean, the surface of the ocean, to go look at the Titanic. It's $250,000 a ticket, okay, to go 3,800 meters into the depths of the ocean to see a fucking shipwreck. And they're still missing. The submarine went underwater about an hour into the trip, which is I believe it's 8 hours to get to the bottom. An hour in, radio silent. They're missing. It's an 8-day trip, supposedly. There's only 8 days worth of, or 96 hours worth of emergency oxygen in the submarine. Why the fuck would you go 3,800 meters underwater in a minivan with 5 people for 8 days? I can't think of anything worse. You couldn't pay me $250,000. These motherfuckers are paying $250,000 to go. What's that town? What is it in Bikini Bottom? You know, you watch SpongeBob?
Yeah.
What's the Bikini Bottom? The scary town? Do you remember?
Oh, no.
Fuck, whatever. You're going to the scary town in SpongeBob. If you leave it in the fucking comments if you know the name of it. What are you doing? Okay. Hamish Harding, a British billionaire, businessman, and explorer, is among those missing. Dude, you're a billionaire, and you did all that. You amassed $1 billion fortune just to go die do people like, life is so uncertain. You want to go implement hundreds of more variables of uncertainty? Again, I hope these people are found, but if they're not, hey, you know, what were you thinking? What were you thinking? And how ironic going to see the Titanic, you know? Again, the Titanic sank in 1910 or 1912, I think. Cruises have been an NPC activity for hundreds of years. I've been telling you. And you want to go visit that crash as like you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, man. Stop fucking playing with the ocean. Everybody wants to be a fucking explorer. For what? Oh, you want to go to space? You want to go to the bottom of the ocean? You want to fucking fly on just fucking sit there and be a billionaire, dude? Just, you know, Like Jeff Bezos, like, yeah, I'm gonna wear my fucking spacesuit and we're gonna go to Mars. Elon, like, guys, just whatever, dude. Fucking send everybody to Mars and get them the fuck out of here. And then, like, there's people who are like, seems suspicious. 2 billionaires and a CEO, and they've gone missing. So, seems a little suspicious, don't you think? Yeah, that's a lot of money to just disappear with. No, it's not suspicious. You're dumb. It's just dumb. There's no conspiracy to kill a billionaire. If they wanted to kill a billionaire, they would probably do it a little bit of an easier way than sending them down to the depths of the ocean on a submarine. People be overthinking. And that's going to bring us to our main topic today. That wasn't a planned transition. Again, I'm just so goddamn good at podcasting that they just fall into my lap sometimes, those transitions. Because today's main topic are conspiracy theories. If you've been listening to this podcast or following me on social media for, an extended period of time, you know that I hate conspiracy theories. I'm the anti-conspiracy theory guy. We're going to dive into the psychology of conspiracy theories today, because I'm trying to get in front of where I see things headed. Obviously, conspiracy theories have already been running rampant, especially with COVID, which kind of propelled us into the golden era of conspiracy theories, the gold rush of conspiracies. But I'm seeing with all this alien shit that's being reported, and I just know there's already been some surfacing, but I just foresee in the next 6 months to a year, it is going to get fucking goofy out there, guys. And again, there's undoubtedly aliens somewhere in some capacity. We're not alone in the universe. No shit. But we are going to start seeing just the goofiest conspiracies, and they're going to gain traction, and your cousin is going to be posting about it on Facebook. The kid you went to high school with that got a chick knocked up at 16, that's selling you fucking Forex trading or is trying to get you to buy solar panels, he's going to tell you about it. And the initial knee-jerk thing here is going to be to think, God, this guy's a fucking idiot. And they are, but it's not entirely their fault. And again, we're going to dive into what makes conspiracy theories so fucking gravitational, maybe. Is that a better adjective? When I was a kid, I fell for the Sandy Hook conspiracy theory. This is kind of where it all started. This is my villain origin story. This is very early on. I was young as fuck. And I stumbled upon a video on YouTube about how the Sandy Hook massacre was all made up. It was an Alex Jones documentary or video or something. An Alex Jones InfoWars video on YouTube. Very early on in his career. And I was young and I was impressionable and I saw it and I believed it. And not only did I believe it, I started telling people, like, yo, this is fucking crazy. I fucking showed my parents, And obviously, eventually, I realized and learned, oh, this is bullshit. And I'm dumb. And I'm gullible. And since this happened, I've been so, like, I guess just like, how the fuck did I fall for this? And so I've been diving into why. And trying to unpack how a pretty smart person, even when I was a younger person, when I was younger, how did I fucking fall for this? And I think it's important that we all start to get an understanding of this because, again, as AI improves, it's already hard enough with misinformation. As AI improves, it's going to get a lot harder to determine what's real and what's not. And it's not going to help with the spread of misinformation. But we're going to dive into the AI component later. I kind of want to take you guys on a history lesson because when you talk about conspiracy theories, I think people think that the beginning of conspiracy theories was like, Roswell or the moon landing or whatever. But it dates back way longer. Do you guys ever remember reading about the Salem witch trials? You remember the Salem witch trials? You've probably heard about it. Basically in the late 1400s, early 1500s, through like the 1700s, they were just killing innocent women and calling them witches. They would be like, she's a witch, burn her! And she'd be like, what? And then they would just fucking stone them and burn them at the stake because it all started with a book. That book is called, and I want to get this name right, Malleus Maleficarum. Malleus Maleficarum. It sounds like a fucking Harry Potter spell. Better known as the Hammer of the Witches. This was a book that was written in 1486 that essentially was a witch guidebook and hunting book. And it was influential and pivotal in the spread of this misinformation campaign about witches. And it was kind of I'm sure there's probably something before it, but this was a dangerous, real phenomenon that was rooted in completely on speculation, fear, no facts, literally nothing. And it resulted in the death of tens of thousands of innocent women. And it's important to look at this as a comp because it demonstrates that misinformation isn't a new phenomenon. It's just taken on a new dimension because of technology. It took years for this misinformation to spread across Europe. It started in tiny pockets, and it's a fucking book, so it had to travel. Today, this shit will travel like that. Technology has made it so quick to scale misinformation and so easy to doctor and misidentify fact that you're seeing it accelerate at speeds that were thought not possible. And again, that's why AI is so scary in these situations because it's going to make that, it's going to 10x the output of everything, including misinformation. What I really want to dive into is the psychology, because I think it's important to understand why people are such suckers for this shit. And the first thing is what's called a epistemic motive, which is basically humanity's need for knowledge and understanding, right? So we want to seek out the answers to things. We want to understand things, namely things we don't understand, right? You want to understand things you don't understand. So, for example, when COVID happened, people couldn't fathom how a pandemic could happen. I don't understand it. So instead of doing the research and listening to people who've given their lives to it, it's easier to seek understanding and knowledge from this quick thing that I saw. That's easier to wrap my head around. Oh, it's made up. It's doctored. It was created in a lab. It's malicious. Oh, it's easier to understand this than it is to dive in. And then from there, once you're planted with something that gives you that reassurance of knowledge, you get confirmation bias from everywhere around you, which is basically you're only seeking the information in a way that confirms how you believe. Right? So you're seeking knowledge. You find something that is easier to explain to yourself than all the, it's just a pandemic. And then from there, the only things you're looking for are the things that tell you that you're right. And AI has made that so much easier. Because I think when people think AI now, they're thinking like ChatGPT. And no. All these algorithms are AI driven. And what makes them so scary is that they will pool your confirmation biases and your echo chambers into the information that you receive. So eventually, you're only engaging with content that pulls you deeper into that rabbit hole. And the way conspiracy theories work and AI works, there are numerous studies that show if you fall for one conspiracy theory, you're way more susceptible to fall for them all because, you know, you're already distrusting. And now the algorithm's going to feed you more of that information. And a lot of it, you know, if you think TikTok, sure, it's hashtags, sure, it's accounts that follow certain things, but it's also something people don't think of are the sounds on TikTok. Let me play you a couple sounds. You'll know that you're listening to a conspiracy theory on TikTok if the video has this music in the background. Right? You've heard this. What's another one? Yeah. These are like two of the biggest trending sounds on TikTok. Because, again, the algorithms and AI are pushing that content out to people and rewarding people for using that content. So you can say fucking anything with this music playing and it's going to feed it out to people because it's trending and it hits those notes in those algorithms. Confirmation bias. You can get on TikTok. Let's say, you're interested in the UFO thing that happened. You're like, oh my God, the whistleblower, David Gersh, this is crazy. And then the algorithm, takes you to what happened in Vegas, which it's like, oh, there was an alien sighting in Vegas. Interesting, And then because you like those things, it'll feed you another UFO thing. And then eventually you're listening to this. This week in Jacksonville, a couple found an alien in their backyard, but the government doesn't want you to see it. Here's the footage that Fox 7 blah, 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 doesn't want you to see. Yeah? And then guess what? Then you fucking look in the comments. People are like, there's something happening, of course they don't want us to see. And then you click on, and because you're looking in the comments, the algorithm is saying, oh, he likes this shit. Oh, he's into this content. And then, because of that, you're on your For You page, and then you hear this. BlackRock CEOs are investing in flour that's found in all the bread at the Kroger aisle. These and before you know it, you're on 4chan, and you're going down the fucking QAnon rabbit hole, and you're learning about lizard people. I know that seems like a crazy jump, but that's how this shit happens. And if you don't have common sense, or you're alone, and you're a lonely person, and you don't have friends who will check you, it is impossible to get out of this confirmation bias loop. And, a lot of it you'll see, it's called illusory pattern perception, which is in these conspiracy theories, again, because you have your confirmation bias loop, you're trying to find more, it's like a pattern in things where there's not actually a pattern. You're trying to find a pattern where patterns don't exist. And that's why you'll see in a lot of these, like, in the Pizzagate stuff and in like certain, like there's a conspiracy theory about Bored Ape Yacht Club and like a Nazi tie-in, and people are finding patterns. And if you look at the numbers on the jumpsuit of it's like you're just making up stuff at that point, and your imagination's running wild, and you can't get out of it. It's very difficult to get out of it. The other big one psychologically is a existential motive, right? So you've heard like existential crisis. An existential motive is basically humans' desire to feel in control. You know, we feel like life in general is, excuse me, life in general is so scary and uncertain. We don't understand it. It's this desire to feel safe and secure and in control. And people who don't have control over their lives are more prone to fall into these conspiracy theories because, again, you want to feel like you have a sense of understanding in this chaotic world. And conspiracy theories will give people that sense of security. You know, it's like, man, why are all these terrible things happening to people? Oh, because it's this. And, you know, it's very frustrating to watch the people that we love fall into these traps. And, you know, obviously there's a lot of stuff that has some merit to it. This is, you know, conspiracy theories are not a black and white thing. There's a lot of gray area. There's a lot of things that, you know, have some actual facts behind them to dictate that something could be up. But most of it is rooted in complete nonsensical fucking fairy dust bullshit. And, you know, it's just, it's hard to watch people that are lost in this world gravitate to these things to give them some sense of community. And, you know, a lot of it is like the allure of secrets. And, you know, you feel like you have some kind of secret knowledge that makes you exclusive and special. And when you share that information, it's like you're sharing a secret. And you're this beacon of knowledge and exclusivity. And for people that don't have that, for people that feel like they don't belong with any social group or don't hold any actual importance, again, I know this sounds harsh, but I'm trying to crack the fucking mind here, right? It feels like a way to capture the allure of secrets and the allure of power. Again, people who feel powerless or feel like they don't have a platform, it gives them a sense of power. Because most of these conspiracy theories are attacking power. They're going after powerful organizations. And it's this existentialism, again, we're going back to that, this feeling of I'm not in control, everything's crazy, all these powerful people are, and obviously there are powerful people who control things, no fucking shit, but it's this feeling of, you know, I'm powerless, but now I have this information that's secretive in this community of people that we're going to take down this evil cabal, whether it's, you know, BlackRock or it's the Illuminati or it's, you know, all the Democrats who are evil pedophile lizard people and all are best friends with Epstein and all these things that everyone thinks are all connected. And people need community and they need identity and they're finding it in the wrong places. And it's in many cases the algorithm's fault. We're all fucking gullible. We all want to believe, you know, it's and it also, you know what else? I'll say it. Fuck it. I'll say it. It's narcissism. Everybody wants to fucking, people are posting this shit not because they care in many cases and want to take down the fucking, they want fucking attention and the shit plays. People will turn into fucking conspiracy theorists because it's the only way that they are getting likes and views. The algorithm rewards you because there's a bunch of fucking loonies in their confirmation bias loop and they're propping you up. And then there's that reinforcement to make you feel like, fuck, this content's working. these people, and it's just this fucking incestual, rotting, it's just rotting everything. And it's only gonna get worse. It's only gonna get worse. It's not only gonna get worse, it's gonna get so much worse. It's gonna get so much worse. It's gonna be dressed up soon in a way that you don't even realize it's a conspiracy theory. And again, as AI algorithms prioritize this content, because again, all AI algorithms are trained to do is promote content with engagement. Doesn't matter if it's real or not. It's a fucking rat race to get for these social media platforms. It's a rat race. They don't care if the information is fucking real or not. And why should they? The news doesn't care. So why the fuck should they? I mean, wait till deep fake technology gets really good. We're already seeing some of that shit happen. But man, once deep fake stuff gets good, it's going to be indistinguishable. So all I ask for you listening back home, and I don't want you to feel attacked if you believe in any of this stuff. If you're an anti-vaxxer or you're a flat earther or you believe that, celebrities are selling their soul to the devil and, if you believe this stuff, I just want you to, instead of only seek information that validates it, I want you to do some fucking research and really look into the claims and really challenge those claims. And if you find, and I'm not talking about, in this music video, you can see Doja Cat has a demonic, I'm not talking about that. That's speculative bullshit. None of that's real. I'm talking about actually looking into these things that you're saying. Because guess what? Your digital footprint is forever, and you don't want to be looking back on it in 10 years like I did when I was talking about how this elementary school shooting was a false flag event and was fake. Like, damn, I'm a fucking idiot. Why didn't I do one moment of research to really look into this instead of just believing something that had this fucking sound? Anytime this sound comes in on TikTok, I'm like, all right, this is probably bullshit. Let me look into it. Anyway, it's frustrating, guys. I'm fucking cracked out on the Celsius, I tell you what. I'm never drinking this shit again. I've had like a third of it, and I'm just like fucking... It's time for everyone's favorite segment. And that's the HOF. FOH. Let me do that again. I'm going to edit that because I said it the opposite way. It's time for everyone's favorite segment. The FOH HOF. The Fuck Outta Here Hall of Fame. And this week, we're going to talk about Charlie Puth. Charlie Puth did an interview with Interview Mag, which, little on the nose. Interview with Interview Mag. And in this recent interview with Interview Mag, Charlie Puth reveals that he wrote a song in the middle of sex. Okay. That's either completely cap or the most pathetic thing I've ever heard. How bad is your sex life that in the middle of sex, you're like, oh, one sec. I got this infectious melody I need to write down. Oh, hold on. I just got to make a quick voice note. Dude, what? Listen to this. Listen to what he said. Puth. I wrote the song in the middle of the act. Maybe I should have focused on the act a little bit more, but the melody just kind of popped into my head, and I actually had stopped and recorded a quick little voice note, and then had to get back into the act. First of all, stop calling it the act, okay? What a weird way to describe sex. The act. But that's where the melody came from. I was getting over somebody, and what better way to do that than meet new people? It probably wasn't going to work out with this person, and that's what I was energetically picking up, which is okay. It's all about the experience. And I remember waking up and looking at myself in the mirror, noticing these marks on my neck, and every day they'd heal and fade, but so would the person who put them on me. And we went our separate ways. I'm thankful for the experience. Maybe they are as well, but I just thought it was interesting that a person can fade away at the same pace of the scars on your neck. What is this, a college thesis? What the fuck are you talking about, dude? Can you imagine, ladies, I want you to imagine in the middle of having sex, and he goes, oh, 1 sec, baby. I just thought of something fire. And he gets up, and he pulls out his phone, and he just starts, okay, great. I'm ready, baby. Let's continue the act. Let's get back to the act. Dude, come on, man. Hey, baby, can you make it clap like a hi-hat real quick? Hey, baby. Actually, I'm gonna pull up. Hey, can you orgasm real quick? I want to use it as a vocal chop. I'm gonna chop it up and use it as a vocal chop. If you don't mind. I mean, it's the most Rizzless shit I've ever heard in my life. This is like, I hope this isn't a stunt for a new song. You know? Oh my God. Is this where Light Switch came from? You turn me on like a light switch. You make it clap like a hi-hat. Dude, that's fucking rough, man. Well, never going to be able to work with Charlie Puth. Burn that bridge. What are we at? What time is it? 5:45. Yeah, you know what? We're going to end it there. I got a very important meeting to get to. Big bags on the way. Gonna have to cut this one short, everybody. I want to thank you for tuning into Good Luck. We got a jam-packed episode next week, and we will be back to regularly scheduled programming Monday mornings. And yeah, it's gonna be a fun episode. Thanks again, guys. Be careful out there with conspiracy theories. Don't be a fucking idiot, as my father always says. Again, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, leave a 5-star review. Leave a comment. Send it to your friends. Spotify, YouTube, hit the fucking like button. You know what to do. And we will see you next week. Good night and good luck.
Good night and good luck. You smile and say goodbye to me, but I don't give a fuck. You hop in the Uber, off to your future. Good night and good luck. You try to play your cards with me, but I'm calling your bluff. 'Cause it wasn't enough.